Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to a professional match of StarCraft 2. Now what I've got for you today is a Zerg versus Terran where we find ourselves on the map Eternal Empire. Spawning here in the top right hand corner of the map, playing with the red Zerg drones. From Italy, we have none other than Reynor, playing of course for Team Clash. His opponent in the opposite corner with the blue Terran pieces, he plays for Team Liquid, he's from France, and his name is Clem. Alrighty, so Clem versus Reynor. I feel like this is quickly becoming one of those classic matchups in StarCraft 2. The thing is, in case you're unfamiliar, or maybe you've been living under a rock, or maybe just like new to the StarCraft 2 professional gaming scene, both of these players came up around the same time, and the main reason for that is their age. So I've said it many times before, but Reynor currently 17 years old, Clem currently 18, he just had his 18th birthday, and because of that, they've really been facing off against each other very, very regularly. But the second reason, though, is that they're both ridiculously good, and they meet in online tournaments all the time. So, Reynor, as of me making the video, is the number 4 on the planet. Clem is the current rank 7. It's pretty freaking impressive. It really is very, very impressive. Now, just because in pretty much every single online tournament that I've seen over the last month or two, I feel like they've faced off against each other pretty much every single day. Okay, not quite, but I just quickly looked it up. In the last 4.5 weeks, so since about half March, in case you're watching this on the day that the video goes live, they have played 11 best-of series. And basically what I did is I collected as many games as I could of both of these players, and then I selected the longest game. So that's what we're gonna have a look at today. It should be a really good one, because, well, like I said, both of these guys top-tier players. And they're very, very familiar with each other's playstyles as well. Alrighty, so very standard opener here from Reynor. Does decide to go for the quick third hatchery, so he pulls a bunch of drones out of gas a little bit before you conventionally do. Most of the time, actually, we see players pulling drones off of gas at about 60. He decided to pull them off, I guess, at about 40, which will give him just a little bit more mining time on those minerals. Now, obviously, it will also be just a little bit riskier, because obviously his link speed is going to be later, and therefore he will not be able to defend the first 2 Hellions as easily. I'm assuming, though, that with this timing right over here, and I know we're talking about a very small detail, but I think that with this timing right over here, putting the drones off at 40 gas instead, he will probably have a link speed done by the time that the 4 Hellions can get to his side of the map. At the very least, that's the timing I'm assuming he's aiming for right now. Not too worried about the first couple of Hellions and that Reaper. While they can certainly rain some destruction, as long as you get the tumor up and you connect the bases, it definitely is doable, and that's exactly what we see right here as well. In the meantime, though, on the camp of the Terran, nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever, just going straight into the barracks, into the factory, and then also that starport. A lot of Terran players right now are favoring, and actually, what's this? There's one SCV in the top left-hand corner. We're going to have to keep an eye out on him. Is this going to be a proxy fusion core? It might be. We've seen that a little bit. Okay, so over the last few months, it's become really popular for players to go barracks, factory, third command center, then starport. And I have seen some players go for like a proxy fusion core. Is that a thing? Yep, that's exactly what it is. Okay. So Clem wants to go for what seems to be a Battlecruiser opener. He just does not want his opponent to scout it. Reynor has been going for some Overlord speed upgrades early on as well. Not the case this time around, but I think that's what Clem is trying to play around right now. The thing about Battlecruiser openers is that usually you only go for about 1 or 3. That seems to be the number right now that Terran players are going for, so it's either 1 Battlecruiser or 3. This little scout timing over here for Reynor is not going to give him any info either. He's looking around, but the Viking will come out here in just a little bit, and this is going to be just fine. So look at this Zergling speed, by the way. It is very late. So that timing actually, ooh. Well, I pointed it out earlier, right? I'm glad that this, well, kind of happened, I suppose. Link speed is only going to finish up in a couple of seconds. Now, despite this not killing that many workers, it's starting to add up, and what you got to keep in mind as well is that tons of Zerglings were produced. So, not a bad opener here whatsoever, and that's what you get for delaying that link speed for so very long and getting that third base so very early. Still though, worker count obviously not bad here whatsoever for this Zerg player. Did Reynor see the switch over? No, he did not. He has also not seen the fusion core, but he's going to see it right now, I think. There we go. He does indeed see that starport producing something. There's a tech lab on it as well, so this should give him enough time to make those spore crawlers. So the thing is, right, what I was trying to say, usually you produce either 1 Battlecruiser or 3. That seems to be the common standard right now, and after that, you don't really need the fusion core anymore. So proxying it, I mean, it reduces the chances of it being scouted, right? What are the odds right now of Reynor sending a Zergling over there? Technically, it's a bit of a gamble, but, I mean, it's not the end of the world, even if it does get scouted, although that would really, really suck. Alright, so third CC coming up. A pretty normal timing, a little bit later than normal, but it should not be the end of the world. And we are making ourselves up for a nice little macro game. The main unit right now to keep an eye out on is indeed going to be that Battlecruiser. So it's going to spawn here in just a little bit. I guess it's not spawning, it's being constructed, okay? There's a team of SCVs hard at work right now inside of that starport. There it is. Set. It's going to go straight across the map towards that third base. There is a Battlecruiser in the back, or rather a Spore Crawler in the back, but that's not going to achieve too much. Now, I love that. Very quick Evolution Chamber timing, although, ooh, the Hellions may have been able to get a little bit more damage done. Hellions being microed backwards, though. One queen goes down. Second queen in the main base is going to start taking a lot of damage, and I think that Brenda over here will also die. Hellbats in the meantime also coming up. I love that addition of the armory that early on. That means that these queens are going to have to decide if they want to go after the Hellbats or if they want to go after the Battlecruiser. Cannot lose the Battlecruiser, though. Clem cannot lose this Battlecruiser. Does kill a lot of queens. That is not something that we can really quantify very easily. Well, we can obviously, you know, look at the number of queens that go down, but it's going to quickly reduce the amount of creep spread that follows out of this as well. A lot of lost mining time as well. Another one of those things that's pretty difficult to pinpoint exactly. Battlecruiser, by the way, does go out, or does get out, and a second one right now is coming up as well. So 12 worker kills here in total. Not a bad start whatsoever for the young Frenchman. Pretty nice start. Keeping the Battlecruiser alive is the most important thing, obviously. These things are really expensive. In case you're a Zerg player or a Protoss player, right? How much do you think a Battlecruiser cost? Put a number in your head. This is what always surprises me, okay? Okay, you ready? They're 400 minerals and 300 gas each. They're so expensive. They're really, really expensive. Second one is out right now as well. Would not be surprised to see a third, although maybe he's going to mix it up. Scans inside of the main base confirm exactly what's happening. He's looking for what probably is a spire right now, but judging by the timing right there of that hatchery turning into a lair, he knows that there's not going to be a spire here just yet, and it does mean, once again, he can go in for wave number 2. Battlecruisers both had their tactical jumps off cooldown, which means that, of course, Clem can continue that harassment a little bit more. Now, a lot of additional queens were produced right now, though, with this many Battlecruisers. I mean, you can start target firing them down. A lot of them are low in energy, and they are starting to fall. Brenda, Karen, Margaret, like all of the boomers will go down. They're very slow off creep. I don't know why we started calling them that, but I kind of like it. Look, here they go. The Karen, get your shoes on. We gotta go on a stroll. Well, actually, gotta be careful though. They are strolling awfully close right there to the BCs that do now force the council on that fourth base. And there's the third one. Okay. Yep, so a triple BC opener. Looks easy, really is not though. It's super easy to accidentally lose your Battlecruisers, and it's just too big of an investment. He's getting himself those mech upgrades right now as well. So this does mean that he's gonna go straight into that Terran Mech unit composition. Now, one thing that I really like as Zerg, whenever I go up against Battlecruisers, is the follow-up where you go for Corruptors and Roaches. So, Corruptor Roach is awesome. It works really well, because obviously while the Terran player is spending a lot of money on Battlecruisers, they're not going to be able to really afford a whole bunch of siege tanks either. So usually the Roaches are amazing, as you can hit like a really powerful timing attack right as their Roach speed upgrade finishes up, and you bring like 10 or so Corruptors to the party, use those to target fire down the Battlecruisers, and then usually you can continue marching forward. There's only 2 tanks right now, it's really not that much. So I think that's the big timing to look out for. Now, obviously, this is a very sufficient force, though. 3 Battlecruisers just by themselves can kill a lot of Roaches. So you do need to make the correct amount of Corruptors here. I think that's what he's going to go for. A bunch of Zerg players recently have also been playing Mutalisk, although I don't think you can do that against triple BC openers. I mean, you can, but it seems like a bad idea. The Battle Mech force coming up. Yeah, so 9, yeah, I need 9 Corruptors over here. You can see, though, this creep spread is kind of mediocre for this point in the game, right? I mean, the right-hand side is looking good, but this area is so easy to push into right now by this Terran player. I love Battlecruiser opener so much, man. Okay. Zerg trying to get this around. Constantly threatening the Zergling run by. These Battlecruisers just keep firing away, though. They're never really stopping that you know, that constant aggression. You can just blink them away here as well. There's one. Corruptors are out right now as well, so I think he's going to have to go with the second one as well. And the big boy. The third one also has to go home with additional corruptors joining the fray. But as long as they stay alive, I mean, obviously it costs you some money as well to repair them back up. But as long as you keep them alive, it's yeah, it's a pretty good unit to have. And this right now actually bought them enough time to get additional siege tanks out. So really cool. Remember like 2 years ago where we would see either Battle Mech or like what we called Vanilla Mech? So either it was that Cyclone Hellion-based army or siege tanks. Right now, Clem opened up with Battlecruisers, went for a little bit of Battle Mech, was the one in charge, therefore bought himself enough time to get those siege tanks out. And that right now basically does not allow the Zerg anymore to go for that Roach Corruptor timing that I was talking about. I like it a lot. It's a really clever style to play. It's so easy though for it to like completely crumble, but Clem has been showing some insane micro. I mean, some players have recently started comparing his micro to that of Maru, who is certainly the greatest Terran player to have ever played StarCraft 2. So, yeah, he's on his way, man. I'm really becoming a huge fan of Clem. This guy is getting ridiculously good. That was an opener that looks easy, but if you give it a try, you'll notice how easy it is to accidentally lose all of your Hellions or accidentally lose one Battlecruiser and, you know, while you're microing, accidentally mess up your macro at home. Well, these are a little bit derpy. They could have done so much damage there, but he obviously was looking elsewhere. Well, they're still going to be able to get a bunch of damage done, though. Blue Flame, obviously, very helpful upgrade. Looks like the Italian Zerg right now is focusing on... Oh my god, he's actually got more Battlecruisers. He's now got 4. Ah, cool, man. I love it. Didn't realize he was producing more. Yeah, that's going to force out more Corruptors, and so many Queens have gone down so far. Oh, a couple of Yamato guns going up as well. One BC does fall. He needs to go home. And he will. Excellent target firing once again. Well, you gotta get out now. Oh, yeah, so risky. So risky. But he does keep him alive. Okay, so, in the meantime, though, Reynor has been going for that Roach Ravager Lingbane army. He also did find the Fusion Core in the top left, so that will probably shut down the Battlecruiser production for now. Unless he wants to queue up some, but I doubt it. Clem just transitioning towards that mech army, but he also took this time right now to get himself all of those bases up and running. So already he's up to 5 bases. Here's the big influx though of Zerg units on the Terran side of the map. A lot of siege tanks available. There's a planetary fortress finishing up. No way, dude. Look at this siege tank line. There is no way that Reynor is going to be able to achieve anything here. He's kind of playing Terran like it's bio. Are you seeing this? Like he's playing Terran Mech like it's a bio army. It's not, obviously. Bio usually is the army that drops and gets very active out on the map and the one that like reduces creep threat and all that, but most of the Terran Mech players that I play on the ladder are super passive and they never really move out. Clem is apparently feeling confident, man. Reynor obviously well known for his Zergling run-bys. He actually now decides to just simply roll down that ramp. Does manage to get himself 2 of those siege tanks. That's so many tanks though. There's really not a lot available right now for this Zerg player to deal with this army. Okay, a couple more tanks do go down. Good baiting right there with those corrosive balls. Clem loses a bunch of army units. He's going to be able to slowly but surely leapfrog these tanks forward. Love the addition right now of the static defense over there as well. Reynor's still maxed out. He's actually at 100 drones. Well, 99, but he's pretty much at 100 workers. So despite him losing a ton, he's also mining so much, right? Haven't really paid a lot of attention to his, or haven't really paid a lot of attention to his economy so far, but he's been happily macroing up. Getting all the way up to, what is that? 6 bases right now? Yeah. So he is a base ahead right now on that Terran player. Not bad at all. Although Clem apparently wants to take this expo? Okay. I like it. I'm a fan. +3, +3, +3. Okay, actually, that's not +3. It looks like +3, though. No, that's the Drilling Claws upgrade. He is trying to establish this base, but yeah, I've got a feeling Reynor's not going to allow that. He probably sniffed out what was happening here. Decides to move down that ramp. And, well, there's no way, buddy. There's about 0 chance. Puke it! Okay, he's not gonna puke on it. In the meantime, though, the Battlecruisers, oof. I love it. The Battlecruisers, they knew that the Zerg army was active on the right-hand side of the map. They're like, you know what? If you're on the right, I'll move to the left instead. Now, they didn't even use their tactical jumps. Oh, I thought they tactically jumped there. Not even the case. He just goes back home. He just sent them there. Nice foresight right there by Clem. Sending those units in that direction, knowing that... Oh my god! So many burned Zerglings. Knowing that that was going to be the spot to be. Good corrosive balls, though. Do shut down a bunch of these tanks, but actually only one. Okay. In the meantime, Clem is establishing the top left-hand corner of the map. He obviously went up towards a hive as well, so he's got +3/+3 upgrades coming up. Goes right now into that adrenal glands upgrade too. So he's basically planning to just go for the same unit composition here, but make it substantially stronger. One thing we've been seeing a lot of Zerg players do is make that switch between like this army and then towards like, for example, Brood Lords. So the Brood Lords will force the Terran player to go into Thor production usually. Thors or Vikings. And obviously after you force out those units, the Roach Ravager Ling Bane unit composition is really strong once again. He also has the potential to go into Infestors right now. I think Infestors are a great choice too. But I think it's mostly going to be coming down right here to that economy. Once again, good corrosive biles. It shuts down a few of those tanks. Planetary Fortress is coming up right now here on the low ground. He's also starting up a ton of static defense. Is this once again a little bit too ambitious? I think it just might be. Thought those were the Battlecruisers, but not quite. Siege tanks though. Oh, 3 clumped up together. Do get biled down. Amazing biles there, by the way. Super easy to make that mistake and accidentally, you know, misclick, for example, with those corrosive biles. And then you end up losing all of your units on the retreat. Clemdo, though, while he looked a little bit shaky there for a little bit, right now he's moving forward and he's finally getting that kill that he was trying to get a long time ago. By the way, that's 15 drones going down and there's still 88 remaining. I haven't really been paying attention here to the work accounts, but I really think that Reynor just simply wants to sit at 100 drones in this game and apparently just completely overwhelm his opponent with the swarm. It does also make his army relatively small though, right? I mean, this has been mostly like a maxed out Zerg army for quite some time, and he barely has anything, it feels like. Planetary Fortress does finish up, but it does also mean that it can no longer lift, and, well, with these fully upgraded... Oh, no. Oh, wow. I was gonna say, with those fully upgraded Zerglings, the Planetary likely will fall, but that's not the case. And after a very long skirmish here back and forth, Clem has finally secured this position on the map. Now, I pointed it out earlier, though. While this was all going on, right? Well, that's a painful loss. But while that was all going on, Reynor secured the top left-hand corner. So this guy still has an insane amount of economy. Planetary Fortress is a beautiful anchor to fall back into. Clem just reinforcing right now with that Battle Mech army, getting himself even the flyer weapon upgrades right now too. Dodging the corrosive biles. There is not a pathogen glands upgrade coming up in the infestation pit, so that does allow Reynor to go towards... oh, he's actually decided to morph them into Hellbats right there. Whoa, that felt like such a risky move with those corrosive biles, but it seems to be paying off. Nice dodge once again. Yeah, that's going to allow him to get Infestors with energy, which is amazing. Now, a couple of Banelings do finish up. Great splits there, man. He's splitting Bio Army. Or he's splitting Mech Rykid's Bio, rather. He's pretending he's playing with Bio units. For some reason, it's working out here as well. Excellent micro here by the Frenchman, but I'm looking at the supply count right now, and I mean, Zerg does still have a lot of stuff, right? Zerg really does have a lot of units. Now, whenever you move on creep, the game becomes very hard to win. That Zerg army just so mobile on creep. Yeah, the siege tanks also get sniped now on the way back. And Reynor is forcing his opponent to back off. Now, while that was going on, though, bottom right-hand corner, acquired here by Clem. This base over here obviously is not mining, and the same for the one over here. Reynor is going to try and take the hedge there once again, but I don't know, man. I feel like that might be a little bit ambitious. It's going to be very, very difficult to establish that. Greater Spire is coming up. Interesting position right here, by the way, for that hatchery, right? I can already see Ultralisk getting stuck over here, but anyways. I guess they could walk around the bottom. Either way, no Ultras this game regardless. It's just going to be Roach Ravager Ling. He's not even trying to burrow Banelings. It was spotted though, so they're not going to be able to achieve that much this time around, but it is something to pay attention to. Banelings obviously can deal a tremendous amount of damage. Good scan right there. Also confirms a couple of those Banelings moving towards the left-hand side. One Liberator apparently kills Queen number 79. Good splits there. Does bile down those Widow Mines as well. You have to be so fast, by the way. Yeah, look at that. Reynor at 580 actions per minute on average this game so far. So this guy is pressing roughly 9 and a little bit of buttons a second. It's a lot of buttons, guys. Now, obviously, repeat rate and corrosive bile spams and all that, right? With rapid fire and all that does you know, inflate that number a bunch. So it's not necessarily, you know, like he's pressing 10 individual buttons at a second, but he's certainly a very, very fast player. Brood Lords right now are coming up, though, and I love that idea. I think Brood Lords are the way to go. Now, keep in mind, they are going to be fully upgraded as well here very soon. Well, not quite with the carapace upgrades, but they're going to be able to deal a lot of damage. Normally, we don't see Brood Lords upgraded at this stage in the game, but because of that Corruptor opener, he will be able to. That means that the initial impact damage is very significant. At the same time, though, man, the multitasking between these two guys is insane. A couple of Hellbats have made their way towards that newly acquired base, and they kill 14 drones. Immediately, new drones are coming up. So Reynor really aiming for 100 workers. I thought maybe earlier it was a bit of a mistake to go up to 100, but he really seems to want to have 100 drones mining. Right now, though, since mineral patches are starting to run low, I don't think he's going to go up to 100 quite anymore, but yeah, that is his goal. Now, ooh, good lock-ons right there with those Cyclones, getting a lot of damage done on the Broods. There's still not that much anti-air, though. There's a lot of those Thors coming up, so they are obviously amazing when it comes to anti-air. At the same time, this now opens up the opportunity for one of those planetaries to go down, and I think that Reynor may actually look to snipe the one over in the bottom right-hand corner of the map too. Great move right here by the Italian Zerg. It felt like he was on the back foot for a very long time, but that Brood Lord switch, I mean, they're sacrificing their life for the Swarm right now. It does allow him to take this location on the map. He's not even going to take that hatchery, plus he's resecured the hatchery once again over there. Really, really nice move there. Question is, though, what exactly are you going to do against this Terran army? Well, probably just more of the same. Actually, oh my god, I didn't realize that, but it was a massive Baneling connection over there. 18 SCVs going down in the blink of an eye. A lot of additional Banelings were made. They're setting themselves up for a surround right now as well. At the same time, two Hellbats trying to kill a couple of those drones over there. Banelings, though, roll forward as the siege tanks are not sieged up. Great pickup right there by Clem. He actually keeps most of those Thors alive, pretending like he's got War Prisms. There are Infestors available right now. They do not have Neural Parasite, so he's only really going to be able to use them for fungal growth at this point. I thought he may want to go for the fungal, or for the Neural, but not quite. And this is becoming an absolute crazy game. Base in the bottom right-hand corner, by the way, has not been spotted yet, which is huge. Not really a base that Clem is probably expecting the Zerg player to have at this point, but certainly something that can be forgotten as well. 26 drones go down in the grand scheme of things, and 110 workers in total were killed in this game so far. Okay, Neural is coming up. I'm assuming he has Burrow as well. He does. So that's very, very important. If you get Neural Parasites off on these siege tanks or on the Thors, that can certainly turn the tide of battle very, very quickly. Both players, though, basically have no money anymore at this point. Huge amount of units still on that production tab here for the Zerg, so he needs to be careful. There's also a ton of creep here, so moving forward onto the creep, very difficult to achieve. At the same time, Zerg going in for the run-by, the classic Reynor move, very, very good at those run-bys, and making sure that his opponent is always going to be committed to the attack, right? Making sure that he's not going to be allowing a whole lot of counterattack potential. That's actually 20 SCVs right now. Both players are at a relatively low worker count at this point in the game. What a crazy match. No one's really winning this, though. I'm starting to worry right now for these Infestors here, okay? Look at these Infestors. 5 seconds away from Neural Parasite. Clem. Clem! You gotta pay attention, my man. He's not. He scans right now, but all of the Terran units are already under the control of the Zerg. Well, most of them anyway. And this now also allows the Zerg player to run forward. Clem loses a very, very precious army, but he did secure another expansion over here. Can he keep that one up? That's the real question. I think that's... No, it's not actually the main CC. It's just an orbital command that he produced over here. Zerglings actually now running in from the right-hand side as well. There's still a big group of Zerglings over here that I think he would really love to have over in this engagement. Corrosive Biles do connect somewhat, but the tanks are still alive. And this area of the map now once again secured here by the Terran player. Corrosive Biles together with fungal growth. But Clem does move forward and dodges some of those Biles as well. Scans confirm what's going on. Okay, he does see the drone transfer towards the bottom right-hand corner, so Clem should know roughly what's happening there as well. A lot of workers are starting to be on idle. A couple of Hellbats actually trying to protect those siege tanks as well. They kill so much. I love the Widowmine addition here too, by the way. He's had a bunch of Widowmines dealing damage here for a while. Siege tanks unsieged. Much better in this situation than actually sieging them up. He did see the bottom right-hand corner, right? He did see the transfer, but I don't know if he realized it. That's actually something very, very important. If that bottom right-hand base is completely uncontested, that's going to give Reynor the potential to start building a bigger army once again, right? And that's exactly what he's doing right now. 2 Hellions will clear the job. Clem, you got to send some units over there, my man. Obviously, there's so much going on now that you can't blame him. You can't blame him here whatsoever. He was scanning this base, and then he scanned this base too, but he probably did that on the minimap. Just saw that there wasn't a structure, and that was that. Very cheeky move here, man. Oof. I love it. One brave Hellbat, sacrificing his life for the Terran Dominion as well. That brings us close to 200 workers killed here. Combined between these two players. Not quite, but we're getting there. Man, if he knew about the bottom right, I feel like he would have sent units there ages ago. Because he keeps trying to harass this base, which is great. Oop. Think he's playing basketball right here with the Ravagers. Not quite. Not quite. Couple drones die. Just a little bit. Oh my god. Okay. They got so much value actually just now. They killed so many Zerglings. One of them died, but... Orbital command on the low ground. Yeah, I've got a feeling that's not gonna happen. Maybe it's bait, though. Maybe it's bait. Oh, it's a lot of dead Zerglings there. Yeah, I think that may have been bait. Is he gonna try and send these units forward? I think he is. Bottom right and base, though, still unscouted. I'm starting to worry for this one a little bit. It takes a couple Hellions to shut this down. I think that's also why Clem, or Reynor rather, keeps having like a clump of units over there, right? To make sure that he can send them in. Ooh, these Widow Mines, though. So close. They could have killed all of those units. Both players, though, microing multiple different engagements at once. A lot of Cyclones are coming up as well. Obviously, all units at this point are pretty much maxed out, although he would like to get +3 Carapace, I'm sure. Okay, Clem is starting to pull ahead right now in that supply count. The Terran Mech army, obviously, exceptionally efficient when it comes to dealing with a force like this. He's secured the low ground here. And he's gonna be able to now finally kill the base in the top left-hand corner. The drones run away. Hellions chasing them down! Oh no. There it is. Line them up, baby. Hat tree already gone, though. It's mostly just Ling Bane right now, though. A couple Roaches and Ravagers as well. But I'm looking at this Terran army, and it's looking significantly more menacing. Still, never underestimate Reynor and his Zerglings. He's been pulling rabbits out of hats ever since he first started StarCraft 2, it feels like. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Dude, he's really a magician with these medevac drops. He's getting so much value out of them. Oh. Clem. He's even killing larva right now. Are you kidding me? He's killing larva. I don't know if that's what he's aiming for, but I think it is. Clem really is becoming an absolute madman. I think this guy is the next big thing when it comes to Terran. Like, already the number 7 in the world, showcasing this level of micro, steadily improving as time goes by, right? Like, Reynor made a huge splash, getting 2nd place at BlizzCon, but this guy's looking insane right now. Beautiful game. Now, he's not winning this just yet, though. Reynor still has that base in the bottom right. I feel like if he would have seen, like, if he would have killed that bottom right and base, this would have been the end a long time ago. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to not have this base and to do like to have that base in the bottom right, right? He did scan earlier and he did see the drone transfer, but obviously, you know, he must have had his mind occupied there elsewhere. He just scanned, saw there wasn't a structure, and that was it. But Reynor, though, has lost so much. He's been harassed to death, and despite Clem not finding the base in the bottom right-hand corner, he does obtain the victory. Beautiful game here by the young Frenchman. Definitely a player you want to keep an eye out on because he's looking better and better and better every single time I cast him. Ridiculously strong player. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to smile. Special shout out, of course, to the Patreon supporters. Thanks for your generosity. But I'll see you once again in the next one.